ready to have a yarn. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll tell you a little technical part of this show before we get going so you know what's going on. When I say thanks very much for joining me today, Daniel, and say goodbye, it's only going to be a fake goodbye for the sake of the show.
Yep.
And what happens with the software is it's actually recording off your computer, so we don't have any of that kind of Skype over the phone kind of static in the background.
Ah, very good. Yep.
So it'll be perfect audio quality, and that file takes about 15 seconds to download to my computer. So once I've got that and I've checked the file's okay, then we can say goodbye for real after that.
Okay, beautiful. No worries. Did you want me to? I've got like an external recorder here. Do you want me to record that just as a backup, or
No, all good, mate.
all good?
I've got everything covered here.
Too
You're
easy.
good to go. And I edit all the show, so if you want to have a cough or a splutter or even a fart, you can, and I'll edit it all out. Okay.
Lovely. Sounds like a breeze.
Okay. Well, let's get into it. We're just going to have a great chat about your life story, basically.
Yep. Yeah. No, sounds good. And that's pretty much the whole theme of your show, I saw, isn't it? People traveling and their life story.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. So my goal is I'm sitting on a sailboat as I talk to you right now off the coast of Queensland.
Ah,
And
beautiful.
that's my life. That's what I do. And I decided last year that I'd start a podcast show talking to people about their travel experience.
Ah, very good. That'd keep you busy while you're on the water.
On the high seas, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But it's more of a hobby than anything. I just love chatting to people about traveling. So,
Yeah. No, very good. Very good.
so there we go. Okay, let's get into it. So, got a glass of water or something to keep your throat nice and warm?
Yeah. I've got a,
Going for a beer? What?
I've got a bottle of water. I can sort of half fill up, I guess. Yeah, that'll do me.
All good. Okay, let's
Yeah.
get into it. So, 3, 2, 1, and away we go. Welcome to the Global Travel Channel podcast show to Daniel Hedley. Daniel, welcome to the show, mate.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, look, it's an absolute pleasure, and I was really buzzed and excited, and I still am when I came across your little TV piece on the ABC a few weeks ago about your big trip. So I wanted to reach out and I wanted to have a chat because I think there's plenty of people around the world in the 95 countries that this show goes to who would love to find out about what you're doing and why you're doing it. So first of all, tell us where you're talking to us from today.
Yeah. So today we've arrived in Sydney like yesterday, and then we're having a couple of days off the big ride that we're currently on.
Yep.
Spent the morning running around, and now I'm perched up at Bondi Beach in my van that we're also travelling in.
Beautiful. Is it a sunny day in Sydney today?
Yeah, which is a surprise because it's been raining every single day of the trip so far, I swear. But yeah, today a bit of sun's come out and it's making the van nice and hot for me. So
Got the Bondi rescue boys running around doing their stuff.
yeah, I've got my eye out for Kerbox. I still haven't seen him. He was the one that I remember as a kid, so but I'll keep on looking.
Yeah, cool. Now on this show, what I do is I offer my guests the opportunity to dedicate their episode to someone special in their life. So who would you like to dedicate the show to today?
Oh, great question. I think this particular show, I'd have to dedicate it to my mum. She's gone
That's a great idea.
above and beyond to help us with this trip and help promote it. And yeah, we were on Sunrise this morning, all thanks to her. So it just seems fitting. Yeah.
And what's your mum's name?
Annette Hedley.
Annette.
So
Okay, well, Annette, this is from your loving son, who wants to, I'm sure, thank you very much for all the wonderful love and support you're giving him, not only on the trip, but as a mum in general, I'm sure.
yeah. Oh,
So
thank
that's a
you.
lovely dedication. So you better sit down together and listen to the show, or your mum will be able to listen to it while you're busy doing what you're doing.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe when we get back to Perth, I'm sure she won't want to wait though. She loves to listen to everything straight away.
Yeah, cool. So let's tell everyone what you are doing because, yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fantastic. You're currently riding a Penny-Farthing bicycle from Brisbane to Perth in Australia.
This is correct. So, yeah.
How insane! When I just say that, it kind of sounds insane just by saying it. You know, and the words Penny-Farthing. You know, like who does that?
Yeah. No, it's certainly a different one, which is why it probably attracted me so much. I got the idea a few years ago from Hamish and Andy, and it was nothing more than them just brushing over and lightly mentioning the term, or the bike, I should say. And yeah, that was 3 years ago. It's sort of developed into this mental health fundraiser and awareness ride. So it's going from Brisbane down to Sydney and then across to Perth, over 6,500 kilometres for an official Guinness World Record for longest distance travelled via a Penny-Farthing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not actually too. This is a sort of world record, so I don't think it really matters what country it's in or where you travel. It's just the longest distance that you do it in. Oh, very good. Oh, wow, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, the Evandale Penny-Farthing Championships. I believe it just went in Tasmania, like last Saturday or something. Oh, yeah, yeah.
He had a Union Jack pair of speedos on. Would you believe?
Oh, and he was riding in the speedos.
Yeah, he was riding in the speedos with a Union Jack on them.
Good man. I need to up my game.
He had a bobby hat on. He had a bobby hat on and a pair of English Union Jack speedos, and I just thought this guy's an idiot. And anyway, we spent a day together, and yeah, he was riding around the world, he'd been to Australia at that stage, and he was going up through Asia, and yeah, he told me some stories, but I'm sure they're going to be nothing like your stories today. So I just wanted to say for people listening today that when Daniel just briefly touched over the fact that this is 6,500 kilometres that he's riding on this Penny-Farthing, that's actually the distance from New York to Los Angeles and then halfway back again. So
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
we're talking about across America and then half again. So it's quite extraordinary. And the fact is, you want to raise a lot of money for charity. Tell us about why the mental health side of it is so important for you.
Yeah, so it initially, going back 3 years ago when I had the idea, it was actually going to be called A Ride for No Reason. And it wasn't until, like, because I've struggled with anxiety and anxiety attacks for years. But it wasn't up until I started training for this ride it was probably the start of last year, that I started to realize these massive changes in my life. Like, so I started focusing on my diet, what I was eating, and how it made me feel, and then exercise. And these two things, just along with a few other things like breathing and that, really, like, my anxiety attacks just disappeared completely. And now I sort of feel like a more confident and just grounded person in general. So once that went away, it sort of all made sense. I was like, oh, I want to just like raise awareness about this. I tell people, because a lot of people don't know, they just get these anxiety attacks and they go straight to medication or something without actually trying to eat their mind into a better state or exercise it into a better state, to say. And yeah, so that's what it sort of ended up turning into. And then the raising money side of it is, and it's just a bonus because there's so many different organizations working so hard to help people, and just, yeah, like every single day they're struggling to sort of get funding, like the Lifeline and stuff, especially like when the fires were on. I know they were struggling to get callers, um, like people to, what are they called, where they talk in the hotline, to those guys. Like, so it's just raising money for these sort of things. It does go a really long way. So if we can raise $1 million to split between the 6 foundations that we have chosen, I think it's going to directly save a lot of lives, which is pretty cool.
Let's go back to the conversation around anxiety and that, because a lot of people would be interested to hear about your journey. I think in terms of exercising and starting to get the body moving, were you doing anything prior to this project in terms of exercise and sports and things?
Nah, so I used to surf a fair bit, but that sort of when I turned 18, 19, as most people do, you move out of home, you start eating a lot of fast food, you drink. I was drinking pretty much every opportunity I could that I wasn't at work. I worked fly and fly out, so I'd always come back and have heaps of money, and you just sort of blow it against the wall partying. And then, yeah, that, I guess, just, I didn't realize at the time, but I got hospitalized a couple of times, just thinking I was having heart attacks. For the doctor was telling me they're panic attacks, and that's when I started to realize. I was like, what's going on here? And then, yeah, just yeah, didn't do any physical activity really at all. I was sort of just super against it, and partying and drinking was just my thing. And then once this all sort of came about, and as the challenge I dedicated to myself 3 years ago, and actually started working towards it, that's when I started doing fitness and noticing the big difference.
Did you have a particular low spot where it all turned around for you? Can you remember a particular day when I guess the light came on?
Well, when I decided to do it, I knew in my mind that I needed to change my routines, but I didn't know that was just like the Penny-Farthing trip was just a that was like, all right, I'll do that, and then hopefully I should reset. But I didn't really understand why or how it was going to reset my body. But then when I came back to Australia after I was working on the yachts at this point overseas, and then I came back to Australia, and as I was waiting for the Penny-Farthing to get built, I got another job at working over east on the tugboats, driving them up north up north of Cairns. And then once that all, like, you get in a routine there, and then it sort of got put in the back burner. I just had to keep working instead of doing this bike ride, because all of a sudden, like, career's gone well, but same thing, started to get more money, and then you slip back into the routines of just drinking every day when you're home, and you start just living, like, eating crap. So eventually it got to early last year where I had an anxiety attack in front of my mum, just sort of broke down, and then I found myself at the wake park actually in Perth. There's these three brothers that we grew up across the road from called the Hedleys, and they're all incredibly fit, just little groms. And I was looking at them, and they just, when you look at kids and they've got that energy, like they're just so happy. They're not drinking or anything. They're just running around the wake park stoked, and they're just living off mum and dad's food, eating healthy and exercising every day. That just
They like their bulletproof.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was like, why? What happens to adults to all of a sudden, like, to lose that? You just, all of a sudden, it's like you go to being sort of sulking around, you're not happy with your life, and you just feel tired all the time. And all these, yeah. So that was like, there was a moment when I had that anxiety attack, and the wake park sort of happened around the same time. And that's when I was like, all right, I need to do this right again. I'm going to click into gear and make it happen. So I started telling everyone that I was doing it, set a date, and then yeah, just committed. And from then, that's when I started to do all the fitness and feel good again. So it was
So
amazing.
those young kids that you were watching running around, they were kind of your inspiration.
Yeah, a little bit. They don't actually know it, how much of a inspiration they are, but yeah, I should tell them one day. They're a good bunch of blokes.
Yeah,
Those
I was
kids.
going to say you should. It would be great to kind of close that circle of life for you, right? In terms of thanking them for being a catalyst of change.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I try to get one of the older brother. He's just turned 18. I try to get him over to do photography. He's really good at photography as well for the trip.
What's their name? What's their name?
His name's Tom Heatley,
Tom
but
Heatley. Okay,
yeah,
well, we'll get this podcast to Tom Heatley, and we'll make sure he listens to it, and your gratitude and appreciation will be passed on.
yeah, sweet as that'd be great.
We can always connect people around the world. Doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Yacht, bloody van in the middle of Bondi, it doesn't matter.
Exactly right. That's right. Well, listen, thanks for sharing that part of it, because I think it's, I didn't want to get on the show today and just talk about your writing a penny farthing, because often with these kinds of things, there's so much more to it, and your journey, albeit inspirational from what you're doing from a physical point of view, we've got to look at the spiritual side, the emotional side, and also help people change their lives through that process. So unlike a lot of other journalists that you're probably talking to during this trip, I want to try and get a bit deeper into it and try and help you really connect with an audience that you can help change people's lives without even knowing about it, mate.
Yeah, that's unreal. It's good because I haven't actually. This is the first podcast I've done. It's everything has just been quite short snippets on the news and that. So yeah, I appreciate you having me on for that. It's
No,
good.
no, that's good. I thought that
Beautiful. I love it. I love the idea.
So, okay, you made a decision to ride a penny farthing, and what did people say when you started telling them about your idea way back in the beginning of it?
I guess you get like I've got a really supportive, like my whole friends and family. They're all incredible. But you do get that, especially a penny farthing. They're like, oh yeah, whatever. And then I sort of bought the bike, and then they're like, oh, okay, it's got the bike, and because it's quite expensive, it's like 4.5 grand um,
So, where would
delivered.
one go shopping for a penny farthing?
There's a bloke in Melbourne called Dan Bolwell, and he is incredible. He absolutely loves it. He's a craftsman. These machines are weapons of things. He services, I think it's like somewhere around 18 different countries, like selling these bikes around the world. But yeah, you jump online, you chat to him. He's got a big waiting list to buy the penny farthings, but
So, how did you
with good
find out
reason.
about him? You just Googled,
Google, yeah. As soon as I had the idea, straight onto it. Penny Farthings Australia, he popped up, and then I sent him an email. I should find the email; it's somewhere, but it was super simple. If I jump onto Instagram now, I should be able to bring it up. Exactly what the email said, but it was something along the lines of just if I rode this across the country 100 kilometers a day, is that possible? Like, and he came back and said, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I found it here if you want me to read it.
yeah,
So it was like, G'day, mate. I'm just sitting here on a boat in the Philippines wondering if it would be possible. If I was to buy a penny farthing and ride across Australia, how many kilometres a day would you think would be the average distance covered? I've never ridden one before and don't know how the speeds and how hard they are to ride, etc. And also carrying a swag or something like that. Can you get a little penny farthing trailer, or is that not a thing? Haha, thanks, mate. Daniel. So that
So, when was that? What was the date of that?
the date of that was the 28th of January 2017. And yeah, so that was the beginning, I guess.
Fantastic. And the reply was?
I don't. That's a screenshot, so I don't have the reply. But I remember it roughly off the top of my head. It was something like, "Hey Daniel, yes, we have clients doing 140 kilometers a day in the Philippines and all this." Yeah, so he was all for it, and then I think he said the wait time, which was a few months or something at the time. But yeah,
And did he respond straight away to you, or did you have to wait for a while to get some word back from him?
I think it was pretty quick. We were in and out of signal because the Philippines is not that great for it. I don't know if you've ever sailed over there, but it's yeah, it can be pretty hit and miss for signal. But yeah, I'm sure it was quite prompt. Everything I ask him these days as well, he's very prompt.
I bet he is. So, you're his flagship, mate.
Yeah, yeah, no, he loves it. I just started burning out some tires, and I told him he's like, oh, I'll get some over. What's the address? He express post them straight away. Yeah, he's really good.
So, how did you prepare for this on all the different levels? How did you prepare first of all physically for this trip?
Physically, so as I was saying before, I work on tugboats up in North Queensland. So bicycle riding wasn't really something that you can like. I'm always on the boat 24/7, so it's yeah you can't. We had a spin bike on there, and that was pretty much the extent of the training I could do for cycling. So yeah, I drive that boat, so I could make the decision that I could put the spin bike in the bridge. Uh, so a little bit annoying for the rest of the crew that wanted to come up because it's quite a small bridge. But yeah, I'd just sit there on radio watch, pedaling away every single day, try to a minimum of an hour, and it's really good. The crew on the boat are all right into their fitness as well, or half of them, so that's quite supporting.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right. So here you are sitting in the bridge of a tugboat on a bicycle, getting in some miles to do some training.
Yeah, just sitting here. Oh, sorry, hang on 2 seconds. Oh, sorry, where were we?
No, I was just saying that here you are sitting on a bicycle on the bridge of a tugboat.
Oh yeah, sitting on. So we're sitting in the every single day. Like we sort of have to do radio watch, or we're on shift for 12 hours a day, and we're doing radio watch for sort of probably 6 hours of that. So plenty of time to get fit. and then yeah, we can make our own meals. So you go down and cook a healthy meal during that, and yeah, it was a good training ground. And then when I was back home, I didn't really we were busy doing other things, so I didn't really get much of a chance to train on the actual Penny-Farthing. I think the biggest trip I did before the tour was 70 kilometres on the Penny-Farthing.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
yeah.
So how long before you started heading off on the Penny-Farthing did you actually receive your Penny-Farthing?
Uh, I got it in August of 2017. So a fair while ago. It's what is it now? 2020 February.
Yeah.
So yeah, a couple of years. But
So you had it a couple of years, but you didn't do any really major big rides on it.
nah, there was a couple. I remember the first 35-kilometre ride I did. I did it hungover to watch the grand final at a mate's house, and I couldn't walk for days after that. And then I think that scared me for a bit. And then a bit later on, I did when I started taking this ride a bit more serious, I did a 70k, and then I wasn't sore. I must have been a bit fitter at that stage because I wasn't sore after that, and that gave me a bit of confidence.
So did you think when you did the first few rides on it, did you think, what the hell am I doing? Like, why did I decide to do this?
Ah, no, it actually turned into excitement. It's when you get better every single time you ride the Penny-Farthing, obviously, and then you're sort of bored with what you're doing at work and in life, and then it's like, oh, once this trip actually starts, it might shake things up a bit. So yeah, the excitement started to brew more than anything. Yeah.
So you were this whole journey being a life-changing opportunity for you.
Yeah, pretty well. It's like when the decision was made, it was to shake up my life and just get into new routines and see what happens because work's great, um, and I do actually love my job. That like a lot of people hate their jobs, but I actually do like mine. But I still don't think it's the be all and end all for me. I'd like to do something else, and I think this is going to be a great catalyst for it. Just exploring myself and pushing myself to the limits of what I can do.
That's why I love doing this show. I speak to people like you every day of my life. I just had a girl on recently who quit a job, sold a house in America, and decided to walk the Appalachian Trail, 3,500 kilometres from Georgia in the south to Maine in the north,
Wow,
and had
walk
no
it.
previous hiking experience at all. Didn't even know how to pack a backpack. Didn't even own a backpack when she started off. So
Did you say that was unsupported?
yeah, unsupported.
Wow,
She just did all that by herself. Amazing stuff.
that's pretty incredible.
So you're a person that can really talk to this whole life-changing experience when you set your mind on something that take the penny farthing away. For the moment, it can just be a goal that you have, right? That you want to change your life about and you go chasing it.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of people don't think that they can. Like they get stuck in a particular lifestyle and bad habits, and they don't really know what to do to get out of them. And I don't know how I landed on this either, but I just sort of do. But it's I think if anyone's sort of struggling with their life and lifestyle habits and they need to change it, something weird like this could help them. Because at the moment, it's really helping me just open my eyes to what I actually sort of want to do.
Yeah, we'll get into that shortly because I want to talk about how the trip has changed you already, and you're only well, you're not more than just starting off. You've done quite a long way, but I want to know why you decided Brisbane to Perth. What was the logic behind that decision?
So most of my decisions is like very sporadic. Um, the like in the email before, it was originally Sydney to Perth, and then I was chatting to a mate on the phone, and he lived in Brisbane. I think it was decided in that phone call. It was like, oh, we'll do something in Brisbane before you leave. Do you reckon you could ride from Brisbane? It's like, yeah, could do that. And then checked on the Guinness World Record side of things, and there was a minimum of 5,500 that they wanted. So then we sort of made a route that was 6,500 kilometres, and it just grows, like and then you put the goal of $1 million. So you want to hit all the capital cities so you can get all the press, the maximum amount of exposure that you can do. So yeah, that's how it sort of grows or grew for me. Yeah.
So you've got a lot to thank your mate for in Brisbane there that said, why don't you come and start here?
Yeah, I guess so. That is James Ballog. Yeah.
James Kellogg. Okay, mate, you're responsible for when you're starting the journey in Brisbane. I'm sure Reduce that's in the city.
Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have 1,200 kilometres under my belt already and be at the original starting point.
So, what about the logistics of this? So, when you decided that okay, we're going to go from Brisbane, you told your mate down in with the Penny-Farthing that you were going to carry a swag, but how did you sit down and start to realise okay, what logistically is involved in doing this?
So logistically, it's like, after like 2 years, you sort of just chat to people and you chat to cyclists that have sort of done the same thing, and then you build this program, this loose program, but I never really wrote anything down. It was just, all right, eventually, like, sort of ideas just got scrapped. So the trailer, once we realized how hard it was going to be to carry everything on there, and then because I wanted to film everything as well, like just camera gear and charging it, and then you want to do it with friends as well. So it's like, all right, we'll scrap the trailer, we'll go support vehicle. So now we've built a support vehicle and I'll converted an old ambulance, and my mate Andy's with us. Um, and so that was that side of things. And then I don't know, we've been going on the fly for basically all of it so far. It's the first big adventure that we've done, so we don't really know how to do anything or what to expect. So
That's
yeah,
often a fantastic way, though, to do it because a lot of people that take on these adventures, and I had another guest on my show, and he sailed a dinghy around the entire coastline of Great Britain.
oh
And
wow.
he did that alone, and you can imagine, the kind of conditions and all the rest of it. And when I said to him, how long did you plan this for? He said, oh, a couple of weeks.
Was that the same sort of thing? Was he just trying to shake up his life, like get out of bad
Yeah,
habits?
yeah. This guy was he makes doors for houses, right? So
Oh right, yeah.
who wants to wake up every day and make another door? I want to do something else with my life. And he was a very keen sailor, so he was adequately skilled to do something like this. But not many people given the opportunity decide to sail like that. But I was also fascinated by his lack of planning, and he said to me in the end, and I agree with him that sometimes when you over plan things, they don't even happen.
Yeah, that is. I could not agree with that more. People scare themselves out of what they want to do. They just all of a sudden it gets too hard. And
Yeah.
one thing I find that helps me is just telling everyone you're going to do something, making it super public. Like, have you heard that from anyone else as well? Like, just
Oh, I've done that myself.
you've done it
So
yourself? Yeah.
yeah, I've done that when I do most things in my life. I go and publicise it, and then I go, shit, I've got to live up to that now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think it's the best way to do it. Yeah, you really put yourself under pressure.
Well, I do too because it gets you motivated a whole lot of different levels, and then sooner or later one day someone ring and say, oh, you were going to do. Did you ever do what you said you were going to do? And the conversation goes on, right, until you've basically done it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't want to be that guy that just says you're going to do everything and then not do it. So you got to have that bit of self pride as well to to
You've
follow
got to
through.
you've got to at least go and start it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Starting, everyone says, is the hardest bit of anything.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely right. Now, well, you've already ticked that box, so we don't have to talk about that part of it anymore. But I do want to talk about Andy Ball because often, and I've done a lot of different adventures around the world, and it's usually the people that the support crew that should actually get a lot of kudos as well because they change their lives as well when they do things like this. So tell us a bit about Andy.
yeah, so Andy, we've been living together for 3 years now. Been best mates for a while. He is a electrician by trade and probably just started doing. He did been doing fly in fly out for the last probably year and a half, if I was to have a guess. Um, maybe 2 years. And yeah, he's just taken a bit of time off work, and both of us are pretty strapped for cash, as you are when you do these things. So it's a pretty big sacrifice financially for him, which means so much to me for him to want to even do that, to sort of put his life on a halt and come support us. But yeah, he loves it. Like traveling, he's never travelled around Australia to this extent before, so it's as exciting for him as it is for me. Um, but yeah, it's everyone always bags him out like, oh, he's in the aircon sitting down, but it's pretty much me just going, oh, I need this food, I need this, that by the next stop. So he's doing all this running around in the background, probably working harder than I am. All I have to do is listen to podcasts on my bike. Yeah, yeah. He's just who just saw some friends outside of the van by chance, and now he's gone for a beach run. But yeah, he's here with us.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah,
In Australia, we call that a really good bloke. Yeah, he's a good mate, and
bloody good bloke. Yeah.
bloody good bloke, and sticking with you. And let's face it, without him, you wouldn't be able to do this.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah, all jokes aside, the guy is coughing up the project, really, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he just had a job interview with BHP before he left to do it, and I thought I was going to lose him for a bit, but yeah, he's. I think even if he got offered it now, he'd probably still just stick out the ride, which is yeah, it's amazing. He's really.
Well, after he's finished this with you, they should make him the CEO of BHP.
Yeah, no, I'll write a letter. I'll be a reference. Absolutely.
That's great. So it's a shame they don't make tandem penny-farthing, so you could go on the back with you.
Ooh, business idea. Maybe you could become a competitor for Dan Bolwell. New business idea for you.
I think that's a brilliant idea is to have a tandem penny-farthing.
Yeah, yeah. No, that'd be terrifying. It's it's quite scary when you first start just getting on it because it's like a normal bike is so low, and then you get on this and it's so high, and any sort of outside influence from a physics point of view gets a bit scary. So I can't imagine two people rolling around like counteracting each other. It'd
So
be
tell us about that. Tell us about the first time you even got onto the penny-farthing in terms of that sensation. Most of us have ridden a bicycle, we know what it feels like, but as you say, getting up to that great height, what's it actually like? Do you feel as though you're going to fall off straight away?
yeah. I when we first got it, I didn't ride it for a few days. It was raining, and then it finally dried up. We went out the front. The sun was gleaming through the trees. The smell of the old rain was just going past. It was a beautiful day. There's a slight declination out the front of our house going down the street, so it was sort of perfect. I was thinking if I can jump on, just sit on. I'd been looking at it for a couple of days, wondering how I was going to do it. And so when it finally came to doing it, I had the idea. All right, I'll just jump on the back steps, sit on the seat, and roll down the hill, and just get the feel for it. And that was exactly what happened. And luckily, I didn't fall off. I managed to sort of visualize it enough in my head before that when I jumped up there and yeah, it felt like my head was scraping the clouds. It all worked out. So I rolled down the hill and got off comfortably. I think I did that a couple of times, and then yeah, got the feel for it, and I didn't fall off until recently on this trip, which is pretty cool.
Right. Getting back to that first time on, the wheels, albeit one's very large and one's very small, they're very thin, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. So they're solid rubber and very thin. The wheel is a 56-inch wheel. So
Wow.
to put it into perspective, I guess I'm 6 foot tall, um, pretty much exactly, and it's the wheel comes up to around my shoulder height. The seat does. So
The seat does it.
yeah.
When you're standing up erect, it's 6 feet to the seat.
Oh,
But a bit
to my
under.
shoulder, yeah, a bit under. So I don't know, maybe 5 feet to sort of the seat. So you get a pretty good view. It's good. You can look over fences when you're coming up to corners, and yeah, you got an advantage like that.
You've got to look down into cars as well when you're going past them. Eh?
Yeah, check out the people aren't on their phones. Dog them into the cops. Might have to get
What
myself a
about
blue and white
what
suit.
about the actual getting up onto it? Is there a couple of pegs or something that stand on to get up into the seat? How does that work?
Yeah, so just above so the frame comes down from the forks that are above the big wheel, and it follows down the big wheel to the little wheel, and just above the little wheel is the steps. So you put your foot on there, give it a couple of kicks, get your momentum up, jump up onto the seat, find your sort of balance, and then you put your feet on the pedals and start pedaling.
Right. So you get momentum going before you actually sit in.
Yeah, yeah. You can't. Well, yeah, yeah. So you stand on the pedal on the pegs at the back, and then you got to once you're a bit comfortable, got some speed up, then you jump up onto the seat, and then after you're comfortable on the seat, then you start pedaling. Because a lot of people try to put their feet straight to the pedals, and because it's fixie, they end up flying off. It just stops. So yeah.
You've just done a fantastic job of describing something very visually on a podcast.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, good job.
I'm glad.
So you got the hang of it pretty easily then when you started riding it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've always managed to pick things up relatively quick. Um, and I think anyone can, especially with a Penny-Farthing, like if they've ridden a bike before and they can balance a normal bike. I think it's pretty easy once if it's explained properly to you how to do it. Uh, I used to be bad at teaching people how to ride it, but now if I can't let people ride it now because it just damages the bike and I need it for the rest of the trip. But before, I was getting pretty good at teaching people. Most people
Or
could
you could
ride it
teach
off the
you could
first
teach
bat.
people to ride it in the main cities if they paid you $10,000 a go, mate.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, I just have to make sure I've got a couple. I think it's like an 8 or 10 month waiting list for a Penny-Farthing at the moment. But I think maybe 8 months. But
Well,
yeah.
you should be sitting outside Martin Place down there in Sydney during lunchtime and getting all those bankers coming out of the buildings and saying, "Here, have a go on my bike for 10 grand."
Ah, you're an entrepreneur. I like it. Maybe I should have you as the team entrepreneur. You're hired.
I'll just give you the keys to the banks, mate. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like it.
Okay, so let's get back to the start of this whole adventure in Brisbane, and in some ways a great place to start because Brisbane's a great city, and your mate up there had made the big, stick in the sand decision and said, right, we're going to kick off from here. Did you have a big kind of grand departure from Brisbane?
It was the exact opposite. Because of all the delays, so we got stuck in WA for a while. There was all the bushfires, as everybody knows, throughout Australia. That put I was meant to start riding on, I think it was the 14th of January. We didn't end up leaving our house till the 14th of January just because of the fires. So eventually, when we got around to Brisbane, all these plans that we'd made, we had mates that were going to play for a fundraiser thing. It all sort of ended up having to get cancelled. And I didn't know how the ride was going to go at this point, as you do when you're at the start of it, like you're about to do something so big and you've never done something before. You get a bit nervous, and yeah, I just was like, all right, let's just keep it quiet. We did that thing that you saw with the ABC, and then a couple of things with Channel 7 and a newspaper, and didn't really tell anyone where we were going to leave from. I just wanted to leave quietly and just see how the first day went and 2 days went. And yeah, so it wasn't too publicised, or there wasn't a big party as such to leave off. No.
Right, that's a shame. So there's effectively, for people listening outside of Australia today, there's effectively two ways that you can go down from Brisbane, which is in Queensland, the capital city in Queensland. So if you're looking at a map of Australia, we're talking about towards the top right-hand side of Queensland. And Daniel had chosen to basically head down the east coast and go all the way down to Melbourne. So he had two choices. He could go down the coastal side, which is called the Pacific Highway, or you could go inland through the New England Highway. Which way did you choose to go, Dan?
When we drove over from Perth, we followed the exact route that we were doing, which is a coastal route down the, and then yeah, on the way back we're doing the same thing. So down the Pacific Highway to Sydney, and then cutting through to Canberra from there.
So you actually drove over from Perth.
Yeah, yeah, drove over from Perth in the
Okay,
in the
so
support
effectively
vehicle.
you've done the trip once already.
Yeah, yeah, we've we've clocked some kilometres on the car. Bloody, like probably nearly 8 or 9 thousand so far.
Wow. I was going to say, is Andy Ball a mechanic now?
No, we've just come across one. We're about to get the car serviced. So I wish he was. He's an electrician, as I said before. So he could do the sparky stuff.
So back on the road, how far did you do on the first day, and what was the sensation after the first day? Did you sort of think, okay, I got into the rhythm of this pretty good, it's pretty good, or do you have some hair raising moments on the road?
The first day, yeah, it was surreal, I guess, because we had interviews before I actually left off. It was like, and they delayed us a little bit, so I suited up and we jumped off, and then before you know it, you're on the road and you're riding through busy Sydney traffic, and it was quite like panicking, I guess, because I hadn't really ridden the Penny through. It had only been bike parts before that. But once we got onto the sort of cycleways and stuff, got a bit of a groove on, listening to Joe Rogan podcast. I think it was the first day, and yeah, it was. We got to about 50 kilometers on the first day, which is what I was sort of aiming for. Couple of breaks and nap in the middle. It was a really hot day. It was like the hottest day. It was so hot. I can't even remember how hot it was, but I remember it just being so sweaty. But yeah, it was. I can't say it made me confident. I don't think I lost confidence from the first day. It's just sort of, yeah, flat, tired.
So you're not allowed to ride this thing on highways, right?
Well, there are particular spots that you are, and there's particular spots that you're not. Like the other day, we got a bit of a serving from. Yeah, there's a radio presenter in Sydney, popular one. I can't remember. I've forgotten his name now, but yeah, because he saw us riding on the M1. But you're allowed to ride on certain parts of the M1, which is, but and then you're not. And then you have to go off to the Pacific Highway for other parts. For the most part, highways are so safe because you've got a massive shoulder, and other streets can be quite stressful because they've got no shoulder. That sort of dictates how I define a safe ride. Is yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you the obvious question. Like you've done the 1,200 kilometres or so to get to where you are. How many near misses have you had so far?
There was a caravan got quite close, like it would have been 10 centimeters, and a truck. There was another road, yeah, no shoulder, just south of Ballina. It gave me a bit of a fright and ended up pushing the bike for 2 kilometers through bush, just because I didn't want to ride on this road. But yeah, there was a truck and it got crazy close, wobbled me a bit because of the wind, and so yeah, I got off and pushed after that for a while. But since then, it's been pretty fine. Um,
Does Andy drive in front of you in the van, or has he gone ahead, or how does that work?
no, it's you're not. So it's a support vehicle, but it's not like it's not one of those ones that you see like a pilot vehicle sort of thing. You need a license for one of them. It's illegal to sort of just do it, to drive next to you. So we just meet every sort of 20 to 40 kilometres, and have a snack, a juice, yeah, whatever I need for energy, that sort of thing.
And is Andy picking up random hitchhikers along the way and having a chat, or?
Not that I know of. He could be doing the sneakies. I know sometimes he's away for an extra hour when I need him, but he says he's shopping. Who knows? Who knows what that bloke's up to?
So
Uh,
how would you rate the Brisbane to Sydney section of the ride so far that you've done? Has it kind of gone to expectation, or have you found things more difficult than you'd imagine, especially going up hills and stuff?
I think I found my like it's easier than what I thought. It was, and I got my fitness a lot quicker than what I thought. Um, there's I was so I've recently, about 5 months ago, turned more plant based for my eating because that's what I felt was making me feel the best. Early stages of the ride, I didn't have a real meal plan or anything, but we met this lovely lady called Jessie J in Byron, and she made a meal plan for me. And since then, I've really been able to find the energy every single day to just keep on cycling. So that yeah, it's heaps better now. I've yeah found the fitness that I need, and the diet's going well. Happy and energetic after rides, so it's happened a lot quicker than what I thought. Feeling good in the trip.
We might turn this show into a gratitude show, mate, because all these people, we've got the boys over there who are having spikes. We've got Jessie J and Byron Bay, who I think I saw a photo of her standing in front of a cafe or something on your Instagram page.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
That's her.
that's her, right? Okay, so yeah, we'll put up a gratitude wall at the end of this show,
That sounds like a vibe.
and all the show notes will make sure all these people get a special mention because they're the ones that go over and beyond to help you out, right?
Oh, it's unbelievable. The people that have helped me so far, it's hard to fathom that people just want to help, and I don't sometimes I don't understand why, but it's I couldn't be more thankful, grateful, full of gratitude,
Good man.
like you said.
So about the plant-based diet. So where did that come from? Had it been something you had been toiling with before the ride?
So probably about a year and a half ago, I started to just try different diets. Um, I tried the paleo diet initially, probably for I can't remember how many months that was. It sort of all gets confusing, but a few months anyway, 3 or 4 months. I was feeling good on that. Then I tried keto for a few months as well. But this whole time, for probably yeah also the last year and a half, I'd been listening to this bloke called Simon Hill, Plant Proof podcast, and just listening to what he had to say, all the science behind eating more plants. And even so, I was trying all these different diets and not listening to him. I was still always listening to what he had to say. And then eventually, when I started to get quite bad digestive issues on this keto diet after a few months, I just went cold turkey eating plants from then, and that's when I really started to notice the benefits of energy. And I had quite bad reflux, and I have for my whole life. It's quite hereditary in my family, and ever since I've swapped to this diet as well, that's gone away. A little bit of eosinophilic esophagitis or something. It's all sort of stopped, and yeah, it's amazing what a diet change can do. I wouldn't be able to spell it on. I couldn't even tell you if I tried.
So how quickly did you start to see the effects of the plant-based diet?
Well, this was the funny thing. So, like the other two diets, there's a thing that when you start keto, it's called the keto flu. You feel a bit crap at the start. And same, I think paleo, at the start, I didn't feel very good. I was probably eating more meat, more fat, um, and a little bit less veggies and stuff. But as soon as I started the plant-based diet, it was like instantly felt good, as opposed to the other ones where you felt bad at the start. So that was a big tick in the box for me. It was instantly better. And then mentally, after probably 6 weeks of, if I eat properly, um, yeah, you just feel so much more alert. It's amazing. Like I don't think I'll ever go back. Well, I won't go back. I'm feeling great at the moment.
So from a, and this is really interesting that we talk about this because a lot of people listening to my show and that, travel the world, do it healthy, sustainable life, sustainable travel, all that sort of stuff, conscious living, it's all the go at the moment. So let's talk about the transition and also the sustainability of living on that diet. Is it something that you can easily make sustainable?
Yeah, I think so. Like sustainable, do you mean like keep it up
Well,
in the van?
access to ingredients and all the rest of it.
Yeah, yeah. So on the road, it can be a little bit difficult in terms of those country towns, but I think it's just you got to, as long as if a couple of supplements, I guess, to get you through to the next town helps. But for the most part, it's pretty easy. We've got a fridge in the van. We can just stock up on the kale and whatever else you need, all the nuts and seeds, and make our own
Tell
meals
us
every
when
night.
tell us when you're doing this right. What are you actually consuming on a daily basis?
Daily basis, I will have at least one sort of like a power smoothie with all the seeds you need, and the spirulinas and all the beetroot powders and bananas and fruits and mangoes and coconut chunks and peanut butters. One of those, it's just got an absolute, or two of those, it's just got a mega load full of good stuff in it. And then I'll have a lot of brown rice and veggies, tempeh, tofu, seeds, a fair few seeds, just as much variety as I can get is of different vegetables is when I feel the best. And I sort of got to eat till I'm absolutely chockers because I'm burning so much every day. Um, yeah, so variety of plants is where I'm at.
So today, when you're doing the distances that you are, do you calculate how far you're going to ride in a day, or how long you're going to ride for in a day?
It's more because there's no time limit on this tour, and Australia is such a beautiful place with so many beautiful places to see. We sort of plan it around what we'd like to go to. So we'll say if we're a little bit off Foster, for example, well, like 50 k's off Foster, we'll go, all right, let's do 50 k's to Foster. If we're 70 k's to my auntie's house somewhere, we'll go, all right, we'll do a big day, 70 days today. And that's how we pretty much plan every single day. Wake up in the morning, look at a map, and just go, yep, feel like going there today, and we'll ride there as long as it's on the track, sort of thing. So, yeah.
Now you're seeing Australia in a very unique way, and not many people in their entire lifetimes get to see the country in the way that you are. Are you having the chance to appreciate Australia through different eyes now?
I think so, yeah. That you have your ups and downs. A lot of the time, if I'm absolutely buggered, I'll just be staring at the white line in front of me and not really looking up. Um, but there's days where I've got a little bit of music on. I'm just in a good mood. I'll be looking around at every single tree, bit of dirt, grass, river, everything I can see, just lapping it up. Because yeah, like you say, a lot of people would kill for a trip like this to be able to see everything that we ride past every single day. So just got to snap into that sometimes and appreciate what's around you for sure.
I'm interested in that because it sounds to me like what you've just described is there's a degree of mindfulness going on about your surroundings, but also realistic in the times that, hey, some days I just don't want to look at that. I want to hurry up and get to where I'm going.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard sometimes. You think you should be in a rush. Do you ever get that? Like you feel that you have to be somewhere, but you don't. Like sometimes, yeah, it's hard. You got to dial it back and just enjoy it. But yeah, there is also that element of just all right, stuff it, head down, listen to a podcast, watch the white line, just get to where you need to be.
Do you think as you go further into this, I'd love to talk to you when you finish it, of course, in Perth, but I guess having an opportunity now to look at what's coming ahead, do you think you're going to get to a stage at some time during the ride where you're going to go, gosh, I just want to get this over and done with?
I'm sure it will come. There will definitely be a point. I think probably after we reach all the cities. Oh no, not even then, because I really like the Nullarbor as a place just for the stars. But yeah, I there will be a time I'm sure when it'll get to a point where I'm absolutely stuffed. I probably haven't eaten the right foods for a while. I might just be tired and will want it to be over. But it's every single day. It's like, oh, tomorrow you'll probably wake up happy, so just push through for now, and yeah, tomorrow's a new day, sort of thing.
What do you miss the most about Perth?
I'm not really home much, so I don't really miss anything from home ever. Um, family is probably the main one that I start to miss these days. I never used to miss my family, but yeah, the more I'm away, the more I seem to miss them these days, and friends. But I see a lot of friends on the road, which is also pretty cool. Got a lot of friends from around the country.
There you go, mum. He misses your mum.
Yep, miss your
Let's
mum,
make sure,
miss your dad,
let's make sure mum understands that as well.
miss your Soph as well. Sister. Yeah, yeah, no, she probably, yeah. I'll tell her today. In
Good, good.
I don't tell her
That was
enough.
trying to, that was what I was trying to get out of you.
Yeah, you milked it. You milked it out of me. You got me.
Now I've got to play the entrepreneur again for a second. Have you got a plant-based sponsor?
No, no, we don't have a plant-based sponsor yet.
Okay, we've got to get that organised. So as a result of this podcast, I'm going to take it upon my shoulders to try and get you a plant-based sponsor.
Oh wow, thank you very much. What do you have in mind for like a plant-based sponsor? What would you got?
I've
No
no
idea.
idea. You tell me what you want, and I'll try and get it for you.
Yeah, okay, sounds like a vibe. Thank you.
So if you drop me a note after the show, and I'll go out there and I'll do my best to get you what you want.
Ah, sweet as. Thank you. I don't even know what that'll entail yet, but I'll have a little have a little look see into it. That'd be
You did
great.
tell me that it's going to be beef and cheese steak inspired
Yeah,
from
well,
4 and Penny.
I want a Macca's sponsor. Mackie Days. Chicken and cheese.
So now back to the spirituality side of this ride. What's changed in you as a person so far from Brisbane to Sydney, in terms of how you see the world in your life, etc.
Um, oh, good question. How I see the world changes a lot. Um, some days I see it as just like with the toilet paper thing that's debacle that's going on right now. Have you seen? You would have seen that, hey? Like you just look at Australia like it's an absolute bloody joke sometimes, and it's I am laughing my way through life, super happy at the moment. But other days,
Although I did actually come up with an idea yesterday that I posted on one of my social media pages, and that was look on the bright side of all these idiots worrying about the toilet paper, because at least when they're doing that, they're leaving the Tim Tams alone.
are you a Tim Tam fan?
No, but I just thought I'd say that.
Yeah, oh, I can't even have. I haven't had a Tim Tam for years. Actually, can't have them now on this diet. Used to suck them through the milk, but
This podcast is now sponsored by Tim Tams.
yeah, there we go. We've all that's the plant based sponsor maybe we need.
No, you're right. So carry on. Sorry, I broke into your philosophical outlook on Australian culture. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah, well, I'm a very simple person. I don't really get too deep in things. I just know some days I feel sad and some days I feel happy, and I'm still trying to work out how I just always be happy. Um, but I think just doing what I'm doing from now and just eating healthy and just meeting new people and putting myself outside of my comfort zone every single day and just doing these interviews is something that's really going to build me as a person, hopefully, and that's all I can really hope for at this stage. I'm really looking too far into things.
How old are you, Victor?
24. 24. Yeah.
I met a I was doing a cross-country drive myself a few years ago, and I met a young guy from Melbourne. His name's Jack Patino, and I'm actually going to. You had your dedication of this episode to a person. I'm going to dedicate it from my side to Jack today because I met Jack when he was cycling around Australia in the middle of the Queensland outback, and he did a ride around the country by himself and raised money for autoimmune disease.
Yeah, I was just chatting to someone about Jack the other day, I think. They met him at these people at a caravan park, they met him on the road somewhere
Ah,
as well.
oh, really?
Yeah.
But Jack's story was inspirational, as is yours. And I think when anybody puts themselves out to help other people in this way, which you're selflessly doing and trying to raise money for mental awareness, one has to understand where that's coming from. And I wanted to ask you about the anxiety and I don't know whether you would even call it a depression in some stages, but does the physical exhaustion send you down that road a bit?
It can do,
Yeah.
but now I'm super aware of if I do feel exhausted, that I just need to eat something healthy and do something healthy, and even I've tried to start meditating and just do breathing exercises a lot lately, um, through inspiration of one of my friends that swears by it. And yeah, that seems to, like, I'll wake up the next day and most of the time feel happy. So I think I'm sort of getting it down, the whole anxiety side of things. It's just purely through my life choices that I start to feel it. So I can obviously work my way out of it as well.
Well, I started meditating in the beginning of, no, middle of last year, 2019,
Yep.
and can highly recommend it for some major shifts in oneself from being kind of not inclined to meditate into a meditative state.
Do you find you don't need to do too much each day, or or do you get addicted to it? Like you want to do more each day? What's your sort of routine with meditation?
My routine is I do it before I get up in the morning as the first practice of my day,
Yep.
and I spend between 20 and 30 minutes meditating.
Okay. Yep. Yep. It's not too much of the time.
I then take my dog for a walk and go to the park or something, and I'll sit and do another 10 minutes in the park because I feel that also being outdoors and connected to nature and that helps as well.
Are you doing guided meditation, or are you just going
I do
off
both.
your own
So
back?
I
Yeah.
have an app on my phone that I do guided meditation, but I usually do that one at night time. So
Okay. Yeah.
at the end of day. So when you ask me, am I addicted to it? I would say if you're addicted to anything that's making you feel great and it's healthy in your life, then
Oh,
really addiction.
and no, addiction's a great thing if it's that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I find that it's great. And then the other thing that I wanted to chat to you about today is, and before I probably mention it, I'll ask you, what is your recovery process at the end of the day after you've been riding a lot?
It's pretty chill. I just have a protein shake. If I feel like I've done a really big day, I'll probably have a stretch. But most of the time, which is probably to many physios' disgust, I'll just not really do anything. I'll just kick back, walk around a bit, go for a swim if there's a beach nearby, and that's sort of it. Just and try to get dinner into me pretty quick.
Okay. Well, you've mentioned a few times now through our chat today about breathing, and when I started meditating, I also adopted the Wim Hof method.
Yes, that is the exact method that I follow as well. Wim, he is a legend.
I started to have ice cold showers and baths and stuff, and it's amazing, really amazing.
Yeah,
So
the cold water therapy seems, I'm super interested in that, but I just haven't really had the chance to get stuck into it yet, which is annoying.
Yeah. So you need to wait until winter time and then go and jump in the ocean in Melbourne
Yeah,
and swim across to Frankston or something. No, but
yeah,
I can highly recommend because it really starts your immune and respiratory systems and brings out it's probably and I'm not a plant-based diet guy, so I can't talk to that, but I guess it's a similar transition in terms of how it makes you feel,
yeah. I can.
particularly when you're doing something like you're doing where there's a lot of physical impact every day. Do you get off this bike really sore at the end of the day?
Yeah, like you feel because it's a fixie, so you're doing every single pedal the whole day. So there's obviously that little bit of shock to your legs when you eventually stop. But I come to pretty quick. I haven't. I think I must be probably taking it pretty easy. I could probably do a 100K day or something and get a bit sore, but for the most part, what we've been doing, I've been okay. Yeah.
And what about your sleeping pattern? Has that been pretty stable in terms of the same amount of sleep every night?
Yeah, sleep I find super important. I think I was never getting enough of it when I was between 18 and sort of probably 22. But as of recently, the last couple of years, I try to get at least 8 hours a day. And I know if I've been in a good routine, get going to sleep early at the same time every night, that's when my brain's going to function the best as well. So on this trip, yeah, we've been trying to do the same thing, same bedtime every night around 10. Wake up roughly sort of between 6 and 7.
So how's the Penny-Farthing going from a maintenance point of view? Is it breaking down much?
No, it's actually really because there's not much to them. They're just a wheel, like a couple of wheels, and they're solid rubber tires. So the only thing that I have had wear out is the back tire and one of my shoes. I need to buy some new shoes. I've worn through them.
One of you.
Yeah, because I've been braking with only my left foot. So how you brake is you put your foot in the little tire at the back to slow yourself down. Um, so yeah, I've worn through a shoe and inherently worn through a tire already, and I need to change out a second one. So um, yeah, I'd say over the trip we'll probably go through maybe 6 back tires, and I don't even know if we'll change the big tire. It looks brand new.
So where do you get the parts from your mate in Melbourne? Is he supplying you those?
Yeah, Penny-Farthing Dan in Melbourne. He's just yeah, I've got his number. Just give him a message, and he sorts us out with whatever we need, and he goes above and beyond to answer any questions I've got, which is great.
Brilliant. And what about the seat on the thing? Is that shaking loose at all, or is it pretty stable and comfortable? Or?
The seat is, yeah, I guess the best you can get for a penny-farthing. Dan also like that. It's a leather seat. He's molded it himself, sort of thing. And it's on springs, so they can wiggle loose over time. But yeah, this one so far 1,200 k's in on this seat. He changed it out when I drove through Melbourne. Yeah, it's fine, absolutely fine. It hasn't skipped a beat. It's going well.
So what places are you looking forward to the most to visit that you've still got in front of you?
Um, I'm really looking forward to Melbourne. I've got a friend. He's a musician called Michael Dunstan doing a In the Grand Scheme tour at the moment. His album's called In the Grand Scheme,
Right.
and he's donating $1 for every single ticket sold during his sort of tour. And we're planned to rendezvous in Melbourne and catch up with him and a few other mates for one of his shows. And he was one of the first people that I opened up to about my anxiety, and same for him. We went through pretty similar stuff. So it's just that rendezvous. I think when I cycle into, if we see each other on the road, that'd be unreal. But if we, yeah, just when we meet up in Melbourne, I think that's going to be the most exciting bit for me at the moment.
Oh, brilliant. So let's hope it fills up the MCG with tickets later on.
Yeah, yeah, MCG. That'd be a massive contribution.
You'll knock off your $1 million then, mate. Come
Yeah,
on in,
pretty
come on
quick.
and go, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing like 20 or 30 shows. Probably don't know how many tickets per thing, but there's a fair few. If he sells out a fair few of those shows, it's a massive amount of money that he's going to be donating. So I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah, there you go. Another fantastic soul helping you out on the journey.
Again, they just keep on coming, don't they? It's never ending.
Sounds like it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I better put you in touch with Jack as well when you're in Melbourne. He's in Melbourne, so you better get Jack to come along to the concert with you and say hello
That'd be bloody good. Yeah, yeah. You'll have to hook me up for sure.
Okay, so it sounds like everything's good. Now, what can people do who are listening today, even if they live on the other side of the world, other than donating money, which is the obvious one? What kind of other help do you want?
I suppose before you look after us, just look after yourself. Um, if you're all mentally sound, or if you're not all mentally sound, just yeah, really try help yourself, get fit, watch what you eat. But in terms of helping us, if anyone does want to help out our cause, we can donating, I guess, to the 6 sort of charities that we've got organised through a My Cause page called A Ride to Happiness. If you Google that, um, that will help us reach our goal of $1 million. Otherwise, yeah, just sharing it and sharing Happy Monday Co or something. That's also a big help. It just helps us get the word out to as many people as possible about what we're doing, and might just fall into someone's hands that needs it at a certain time in their life. So yeah.
So tell us about the Happy Monday concept because people won't know what lies behind it.
So yeah, the whole thing. We have started a thing called Happy Monday Co, which is where you can follow the full tour, and the idea of that is to just break the stigmas of Mondays. You know, everyone doesn't like a Monday inherently, but Monday is the start of another week being alive on this beautiful planet of ours. So we're trying to get rid of the stigma, and yeah, so we've named our little page after it, Happy Monday Co, and that's where everyone can follow it.
Fantastic. I'll put all the details in the show notes so people can connect with you and support you. And I love
Thank
the
you.
sharing that you just gave about looking after oneself, which is key because that's where it all starts.
It is.
Looking after yourself.
It is. You got to love yourself, love your mind, and then you can start to help others.
Now, before we finish up today, it would be stupid of me not to ask you, what are you going to do after this? What are you going to do when you're back in Perth?
Yeah, it's a great question. I still think I've got a fair bit of personal development to do on this trip, and I'm sure my mind will change a lot, like my train of thoughts and what I want to do still by the end of the trip. So, at the moment, absolutely no plans. I love thinking of little entrepreneurial ideas such as yourself. So, who knows? Something might be born. I've got a lot of time to think on the road and follow that dream.
I'm going to recommend a podcast for you to listen to
Ooh, I'll write it down.
that I know that you're going to like. His name is Rich Roll, Rollo,
Rich
and
roll.
Rich has got a fantastic podcast out of the United States. He's a plant-based ultra athlete
Oh,
who has
awesome.
a very bad addiction to drugs and alcohol, turned his life around, and has become one of the fittest guys in the world. But he has a great podcast, so I
Unreal.
recommend that while you're riding along these streets and roads of Australia.
Yeah, thank you for the suggestion. If anyone has any suggestions, please send it through. I've got so much time to listen.
Also, the Global Travel Channel podcast show I hear is a pretty good one as well.
Yeah, I've heard of this one. Somewhere along the lines, a little birdie was telling me about it.
Daniel, it's been a pleasure, mate, having you on the show today, and I want to thank you for, first of all, responding to my message and taking the time out because I know you're getting hassled by a lot of people, and I really appreciate you taking the time from beautiful Bondi Beach to talk to me today. And I wish you nothing but huge success, mate, in not only the ride but in everything that you do in your life.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me on and giving me an opportunity and a stage to sort of share the full story in depth and detail. I haven't had that yet, so this is unreal.
And who knows, I might even be over there in Perth and we'll do a live show when you finish and catch up after the whole thing's over.
Yeah, yeah, Happiness Co. One of the people that we're sort of partnered with slash donating for, it's their one of their main sponsors is Optus Stadium where they play the footy there. So
Oh yeah.
I think they're organising. That's where the coming home sort of party organized thing's going to be. So yeah, we'll keep in touch, and if you want to come over for that, that'd be the perfect timing at the
Very
Optus
good, and
Stadium.
I think you need to get your mate from Brisbane over there because you didn't have a big party on the way leaving Brisbane. He should make up for it in Perth.
Yeah, I think he definitely needs to come over. We didn't even see him at all. We missed him, unfortunately, the whole time. But yeah, Perth. That's a great idea. I like it.
Okay. Well, listen, thanks for being on the show, and I also want you to pass on my best regards to Andy Bohr because he's doing a wonderful job, and he's going to keep you safe and sound all the way to
Yep, too easy. I'll pass that on. He's probably sunburnt by now. I haven't seen him in a while. No, he left with no shirt. Sunny day, but thank you. Yeah,
Okay, mate. Well, stay safe and we'll speak again soon.
you too. Thanks again.